Breaking news.
This is crazy. We don't know what's going on yet. And it's just, as you can see everywhere right down here, there's people right behind me that have been wounded by some kind of gunplay.
At least 9 people dead, 16 others hurt following a shooting in Dayton's popular entertainment district. Let me rephrase it. I believe now it's 22 people hurt. We just had an update. You're seeing video of that scene from overnight. We're going to send things quickly over to our Sarah Selly. Sarah, first off, I understand the suspect has died.
Yes, the suspect has been killed, shot by police as they responded to the scene. And just to update you on those numbers, we have 10 dead, that includes the shooter, and also 26 people injured after that latest mass shooting, which happened just behind me. I want to show you down that street. That's where this all occurred. And we are about as close as we're going to get to that scene because they are doing a lot of evidence gathering right now. And we have seen multiple agencies out this morning. We're talking about Dayton Police, the Sheriff's Office, state troopers from the city, or from the state of Ohio, the FBI, the ATF, and other investigators. You name it, they are here on the scene right now, gathering evidence and working through this, processing this scene. Now, we do understand that the shooter was wearing body armor and had extra gun magazines when that person went to the Ned Pepper's bar and began shooting. This happening late in the overnight going into Sunday morning. And we understand that at that time there were a lot of people gathered at Ned Pepper's bar. It's a popular place here in Dayton, and those folks were gathered in the patio area and near the entrance, and that's kind of where a lot of the victims were found because perhaps that person was able to use the patio to their advantage and fire off a lot of shots. Now, the actual incident itself happening only for about a minute. At that point, they were able to stop the shooter. The police that were in the nearby area responded very quickly and stopped this within that minute. But in that time, just 60 seconds we are talking about, 10 people were shot, 26 injured. Those 10 people died, including the shooter himself. Now, we don't have any information on that person. They have not released a name or any kind of identifying details about them, only saying that the shooter was wearing body armor and had extra gun magazines. Now, friends and family members of anybody who was at Ned Pepper's bar or in this neighborhood at the time of the incident should go to the convention center in Dayton for resources and help. That's the reunification center. And that's where they're staging a lot of the city's response to all of this. It's nearby at the convention center. They've also reported out here that the mayor of Dayton has spoken with Governor DeWine and that he has been made aware of what has been happening. Let's hear from some of those folks who were first responders on the scene and get their assessment of what happened last night.
Suspect was firing a long gun with multiple rounds at the victims. Fortunately, we had officers actually already on scene in the Oregon district providing patrol. This is a very safe part of downtown, and it's a very popular destination for visitors in the Oregon district. So we regularly have officers in the area.
Okay, back out here live, you just heard that person speaking about how this is a very safe area in Dayton, and I want to stress that. We've heard that as well from folks who have just kind of come by the scene, that this is a safe area. This is an area where they have an entertainment district. Again, I just want to give you a look down that street, and you can kind of tell there are several bars and restaurants, and it's an area that's kind of been revitalized. Folks come here for an evening out, and that was the case last night, Saturday night. You can imagine this. This was Ned Pepper's Bar. That's a local brewery and bar that kind of caters to a pub-like crowd. Those folks were out there last night wanting to have a good time with friends, maybe with family as well, just kind of celebrating a normal Saturday night out on a weekend evening when this all happened. And so you can imagine the shock and the dismay in this neighborhood. When we first arrived on the scene around 5:30 this morning, it was eerily quiet. I mean, there was almost not, you could almost hear a pin drop in this neighborhood. And that really stood out to me because it just gave you an idea of some of the dismay in this area and just kind of the shock of all of this. We've seen heavy rescue folks out here, a lot of first responders out here. They seem to also be upset by this, and you can imagine that. You know, you train for this kind of situation, And yet when it happens, it's just mind-blowing to those folks, and they also are affected, and we did see that this morning. So we're going to continue to follow this, but I want to reset the stage for you here. 10 people have been killed, including the shooter, here in Dayton, outside of Ned Pepper's bar in the Oregon Entertainment District. 26 people have been hurt. It's a fluid number. We can expect that to possibly change because in these kinds of breaking news situations, it often does. But we expect them to be out here for many hours today doing investigative work. That's what they've been doing right now. And we've seen multiple agencies out here responding. Michael?
Sarah, just a quick question. As you're looking at the scene right now, are there a lot of people coming over there to that scene, a lot of onlookers? I know they were telling family and friends they can go over to the Dayton Convention Center, but what do you see right now on the street?
So not as many as you might expect. This area has been pretty much shut down in this entire area. The neighborhood is pretty much cleared. So we have not seen a ton of people. We have seen a few people, though, come by. There are a number of media outlets out here, even national outlets and things like that, who have shown up in this area, as is to be expected, because this is the latest mass shooting in our country's history. But no, we have not seen a ton of onlookers. Many of those people, as you said, directed to the convention center to be reunified with family and friends. And there was, as we understand, a lot of chaos. We saw broken beer glasses, things like that. A lot of folks, just kind of running for cover in the aftermath of this situation. Michael?
Okay, Sarah, Sally, thank you very much. She's out there on the scene and getting the information for us. One more thing I do want to mention is the mayor, Nan Whaley, had said the individual had a .223 high caliber magazine, and when asked to describe it, she just said a very large gun. All right, now, right now, Dayton officers are asking for your help with this case. If you were in the Oregon District and know what happened, they're asking you to call the number on your screen. That number is 937-225-6217. Police have also set up a family assistance center. Now that's located at the Dayton Convention Center. They ask that family and friends either come down there or they can call the number on their screen to check on their loved ones. That number is 937-333-8430.
Well, hopefully you got a chance to get outside yesterday and enjoy the weather. But if you didn't, don't worry. Today is going to be very pleasant, too, with similar conditions expected all throughout the day today. We're starting the day very similar to how we did yesterday with mainly clear skies, just a few high, thin clouds out there, and that's about it. As we look further off to the southeast of Nashville, so in parts of eastern Tennessee, and starting to move toward Lexington, we're seeing a little bit of some shower activity. No thunderstorms, though, even in that area. And that's the closest spot where we see any kind of precipitation. Temperatures right now in the 60s, 63 at Lunken, 63 degrees in Lebanon and Wilmington, 64 in Florence, Batavia at 62 degrees with mainly clear skies. As we head throughout the day today, those temperatures will climb into the upper 80s. Those winds calm to start. There is no wind out there at all right now, but they will change winds out of the west at about 5 to 6 miles per hour later this afternoon. Now, we are going to stay dry today, starting to see a bit of an increase in the humidity, but as we head into the middle of the week, that's when we'll see our next chance for rain, and those showers and thunderstorms will continue through about midweek. So today's going to be another very pleasant day. Just a slight increase in humidity today, but you'll notice that tomorrow and Tuesday, and that will usher in some of those showers and thunderstorms. Behind those storms, by the end of the week, we'll actually see a cool down, very comfortable conditions expected at that time. We'll talk all about that coming up in the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Michael?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to go to breaking news right now. There's a witness over in Dayton talking about the scene. Take a listen. All right, so right now, as we know, there are 10 people that have died, 9 victims. The 10th person would be the shooter. 26 people were injured. They were taken over to area hospitals. We do know that the Mayor Nan Whaley over in Dayton, she has said the suspect was carrying a .223 high capacity magazine. He had extra magazines on him. She described that as a very large gun, and We understand this is the 250th mass shooting in the country, with Dayton being the 250th. All right, we're going to continue following this story. We'll be right back.
At 1:07 this morning, an event occurred in our historic Oregon district. A suspect opened fire along the Oregon district who was wearing body armor and used a .223 caliber high-capacity magazine. He had additional magazines.
You just heard from the mayor of Dayton, and here's the governor's response. He says he's offering any assistance on behalf of the state. He's also commending first responders for their acts. Another community in mourning following a deadly shooting in Dayton. Police confirming that 9 people are dead and 26 people are hurt. This is all happening in the Oregon district along East 5th Street. That's where our Sarah Selly is right now. Sarah, right now, there are a lot of more questions than answers. Is that correct?
The line was heavy. It was long. It was going part. The club usually don't stop until 2:30 here.
Anthony Reynolds, people that you know were inside that club at that time. You've been in touch with your loved ones, everyone, people safe, people you know?
People I know, most of them, everybody is safe. After that, just learning about a couple of friends from high school and stuff with their children's mother, and had another friend that I was in a marching band with. His sister was killed, you know, so just those 2 people that I know for sure have lost one. Then when they saying the numbers going up, we don't know who else yet. So we haven't been able to contact everyone.
What goes through your mind when you hear those numbers? You were there.
It just showed, man, that life can change in the blink of an eye. We were having a good time, not expecting nothing. We wasn't ready for that. And, you know, just showing, man, them guns, man, they just don't need to be out here. They just don't. They're just scary.
Yeah, I guess.
Kids, and I wanted to make it home. You know, I could have not made it home just for trying to have a good time.
Okay, you're looking at an interview that's going on right now, and I want to get you to this. This is Anthony Reynolds, who is speaking with us, speaking with the media right now, and he is a witness, has more information on exactly what happened.
High power, whatever it was. I don't know a lot about guns too much, but that gun was like high power. Like it was big. I thought 50 cal maybe, but it's the way it started rapid firing. I just know it had to be something.
And the clothes he had on. I mean, they told us he had on body armor, but everything else you saw.
Only thing I seen was the black and the mask. I'm sorry, the black and the mask, and you know, that's all I could see. I didn't see any legs or anything because I was running. When I turned around, I looked for where the fire was. I was able to see that part of him with the gun out, and I continued to run.
Can you take us back through just
Yes.
the moment that this happened? Take us back through kind of how you were feeling, because it was a lot.
The moment it was happening, I was in shock at first. I mean, you're just in shock the whole time. You don't understand what's going on because you just hear one fire, two fire, and then it's rapid fire, and then you understand what's going on, so you get fearful, and you just try to get to safety. And I just start running and trying to, just yell it to many people as possible that, hey, because it's people that go around. It's all the side streets. They're not on the main road. They don't know. We don't know if the person's running around shooting. We don't know how many people we going to, plan on shooting. So I just was running to my car and trying to tell as many people on the way to just go because he was really shooting people.
And where were you at the time of this shooting?
Coming out of Ned Pepper's bar, the exact bar. I left out at 1:05 on the dot because I was looking at my phone, and I remember me and my cousin having that conversation about why we should have stayed till 1:30. And then if we would have stayed 30 seconds less coming out the door. I remember walking out the door, my exact words to the bouncer who worked there every day, he's short. I said, man, you having a heck of a party in here tonight. And that was our last laugh. And I walked past that line. They still had a heavy line, but people trying to get in. And by the time I got to the end of that line, that man started firing that gun.
Can you estimate how many people were inside the bar at the time or near the bar at the time?
Probably a couple hundred inside the bar, but on the strip alone, it's over a couple thousand. We had a baseball game down here today with the Dragons and stuff, so there was a lot of people downtown. A lot of new bars and restaurants is opening up down there, so it's a lot of more traffic coming downtown.
What started going through your mind as you start hearing those gunshots?
Fear. Just fear. I don't care how big you are or strong you think you are. In a moment like that, you don't know what you're going to do. You just don't. You just got to act. And I applaud the people who was able to, try to help the victims that failed, because a lot of us was too scared to, go back, so.
Did you see the shooter immediately and think that man is about to start something?
No, we didn't see him initially at all because you just got crowds of people. You got people sitting outside. You got live bands playing outside. You got people that come downtown and show off their talents on the street while people going into the gun. So it's so many people that you would have never even just known, that somebody was going to try something. And we down here every week. So we down here every week almost. So you just never have too many fights, too many anything. People come down here and it's a happy place. So.
I know you described hearing those gunshots. What did you then see happening in those moments after?
Once I heard the gunshots, I looked for the person I was with, which is my cousin, and he wasn't on the side of me, so I knew he was behind me. So once I looked back, that's the only reason why I was even able to see those bodies dropping and realize that people was really getting shot. Because if I didn't have to turn around to see my cousin, I probably would have just kept forward and running. But because he was behind me and I was trying to make sure that he was with me, is how I seen. And I turned, that's when I realized, like, man, they really dying, so.
And yet some of those folks were people that you knew.
Yes.
I mean, that's got to be the worst part.
Yeah, we're not a big city, so kind of everybody kind of really knows a lot of people around here, and that's just sad to just get information that, people that you went to school with or, just their close ones is, was lost in that, so.
Anthony, how are you doing this morning?
Still shook. I'm still shaking a little bit, just tired. I went to my job this morning still, and they just was like, you just need to go home, you know what I'm saying, because I still felt like I needed to go to work. I just try to do things like that, and I probably just sit at home today and just think and we got to come together and try to see what we can do to try to, stop this type of stuff.
There was a mass shooting in Texas yesterday. Yeah. Before you went out, was that in your mind at all, knowing that there was a mass shooting?
I knew it happened and everything, but it wasn't nothing that I got prepared for, so.
You would never have thought. that you would see one yourself?
Yeah, I never thought. You just never think. You know that it can happen. You're aware that it can happen, but I don't think you just prepare to say, oh, somebody might just shoot up Little Dayton today, you know. So,
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so just to set the stage again and let you guys know where we are right now. Okay, so you were just hearing from Anthony Reynolds, and he was a eyewitness to last night's events and described pretty much in harrowing detail there about how he saw people falling in front of him. He was pretty much right there as the shooting began. And also, unfortunately, he knows several people who were involved in this, people who are victims in this case. Now, just to reset the stage here and to reset the situation, if you're just now joining us, we are talking about 10 people who have died, including the shooter, and 26 people who have been hurt after a mass shooting at the Ned Pepper's bar, and that is just down the street from me, just right over there. And there is an active investigation going on right now. We're talking about ATF, FBI, state troopers, county sheriff's office, the Dayton Police Department, all those folks on scene right now, making sure that this continues and that everything goes. So we're going to continue to bring you more here on Fox 19 Now, and of course, bring you continuing breaking news as it happens. Reporting live, Sarah Selly, Fox 19 Now.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much.